Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGLgg Invite Highlander semi-finals, or I guess upper bracket finals match, taking place between Wish Mode and Man Crush Monday, where the winner here will get a guaranteed spot in the grand finals, and the loser will move down into the lower bracket to fight for third place. I am Alto, joined by Zag to my side. Down behind the camera, as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Just got done with some work, got done eating dinner, and ready to cast some Highlander on this fine Monday night for all of you. Wish Mode versus MCM. This is the matchup that at the start of the season we're looking at these two teams to be the grand finals candidates. And now, prophecy has come true for the most part, and we are here with these two teams in the upper bracket finals. Should be hopefully a competitive match.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, we saw the only round Wish Mode has dropped this entire season was to MCM back on Upward. However, the thing about that match is that the one round that MCM won was very close, and the other two were quite one-sided. So one of the things Zag and I have mentioned time in and time out is the power of adapting through a match, and that's something we've seen that Wish Mode and Hood Naruto, their predecessor, have been very good at. So, whether or not if we ran that match back again, we'd be able to see MCM take that round is still up for debate. But for the sake of good entertainment for all of you fine viewers out there in the chat watching, we hope that this is a good one.
Yep, and last week we only had 2 maps in our match of the week between second and third seed. It could have gone 3. Hopefully this week goes 3. If it goes 2 again, we're kind of be speedrunning playoffs. But if any team is expected to speedrun playoffs, it is Wish Mode. Like Alto said, they dropped 1 map in the regular season, and they are definitely our grand finals favorites coming through into these playoffs. So they are the expected team to take the championship this season. However, MCM can stand in their way. Right now we can take a quick look at the rosters, and then we'll do maps. So for the side of Wish Mode, we're going to be having Blank subbing in on Scout for the team's namesake, Wish, who could not make it. We got Demento on Soldier, Carson on Pyro, Joey Lemons on Demo Man, Adam on Heavy, Hyphen on Engineer, Blake on Medic, Nixie on Sniper, and AGB on Spy.
And over on Man Crush Monday's side, Poseidon will also be a ringing scout stepping in for Weil, who had a great performance last week on Cascade. Etney will be playing Soldier, TK on Pyro, Exile on Demo Man, Sand on Heavy, Spamfest on Engineer, Casper on Medic, Waterson on Sniper, and Evil on Spy.
Yeah, and these two rosters full of veteran Highlander players. You all know them, you all love them at this point if you're still watching this game mode in this year. But yeah, there are definitely tons of experience behind both sides. We've seen Wish Mode be the stronger team both in raw DM power level and in mid-game adaptations, being able to play for win conditions. So there are favorites here tonight, but MCM, they should not be underestimated.
Right. Although, that being said, we are on Ashville, which this map was MCM's pick last week in their match against Somebody Help. It was a map that we were expecting them to come out a lot stronger than they did on, where they quickly found themselves down 2-1 before managing to pull it back and finish it out with a 4-2. That being said, Somebody Help, despite not being able to actually claim the map from them, exposed a number of weaknesses that will not be allowed to stand against the team of Wish Mode's caliber.
Yeah, and as a result, Wish Mode has gone ahead and actually picked this map first. Joey Lemons in the pick ban, he banned Steel and picked Ashville for his team. So that might be Wish Mode throwing down the gauntlet a bit, saying we saw your map pick last week, we saw you not perform up to par, and we're going to beat you on it here. So they take that first. Second map selected by Wish Mode, they do pick PL Vigil. So we have some stopwatch coming through for sure this week. They then banned Product, and we're going to be ending things up on Upward for that rematch of the regular season match, if it does come to that.
Right, and not too surprising. Demento teams historically have banned Steel, especially when they're 1 seed, just due to the variance that map has and its potential for and being, a map where just a couple of timely picks can lead to a quick 2-0 upset. Then Vigil, I think, kind of being the next biggest upset map due to the low round timers, whereas Hood Naruto picking Ashville. I'd be interested to hear their rationale as to why they went Upward over Product.
Well,
Or
Product was
Asheville,
banned.
excuse me,
Yeah.
over Product.
You mean,
Oh, it was banned. Okay, well that would be why then. And then Upward, it would have been between what, Upward and Swiftwater,
yeah, Upward or Swiftwater for last map, and they chose Upward.
which is just probably playing more to that default. No reason to mess with, I don't know, some weird third hold coming out on Swiftwater, someone goes for a tunnel hole and you're not prepared for it. Just like I think one of the things that Demento has learned very well throughout all of his years being at the top of this game is that variance is never good when you're the favorite.
Yeah, and I would
And the less
say
of it you have, the more likely you're to win.
yeah, and I'd say they played towards that in draft pretty well, extremely strongly. They picked a map that they're confident based on the performance last week of MCM that they can beat them on, and they went for comfort for their tiebreaker in case things did come to that. That upward once again regular season matchup, they were very convincing in the rounds they won. So Wishmo definitely has some comfort and some intimidation coming through in this draft.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I'm going to be mainly looking for on Ashville, as I kind of alluded to before, is Exile needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
Felt like we saw Exile last week come into a mid-fight and nuke somebody help from orbit, and then proceed to be a respawn timer the rest of the round. There were some rounds where this led to somebody help winning. Sometimes MCM was able to still take the round with, I don't want to say that, call it a handicap necessarily, but nearly without a demo man for most of the round. However, that was when they were the favorite seed on a map they picked. Against Wish Mode on this map, if Exile dies more than I want to say 3 times around, I'm gonna see that it's very difficult for MCM to just maintain enough control over the point in order to really put any major dents on the clock against Wish Mode, especially when Wish Mode is a team that is such a big fan of dry pushing.
Yeah, 3 deaths might be a bit strict for Exile, but I understand the sentiment behind it. If he goes on respawn timer over and over again, then things will get very difficult. And one thing I want to talk about, especially for a map like Asheville, is the fact that both teams tonight having Ringer scouts. Blank in for Wish mode and Poseidon in for While. On paper, we would say at the start of the season that getting not having Wish and having Blank instead for Wish mode would be a bigger downgrade than than Poseidon for While. But While's performance actually ramped up a lot in towards the end of the season, so much so that he's probably a candidate for most improved player over the season. I'd say if we do a vote for that in postseason. And missing him, obviously, when you're running in with Synergy, your Scout Demo and Medic have been playing together all season, will hurt. Will it hurt as much as it will Wish Mode, who have a very good system in place with all their players overall? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. That's going to be a thing I'm tracking tonight is Scout performance in both these ringers.
I need to check, but I'm not sure if Poseidon is rostered at MCM or not. I'm fairly certain Blank is rostered on Wish Mode and has played with them either, Poseidon is rostered on Run It Back. Dolphin just confirmed for us. So this is a ringer, but I'm fairly certain Blank is on Wish Mode as a sub and has played with them in past seasons or in preseason. So I think Blank was on Sniper earlier this season, so we're being told. So I think the kind of new player drop off, right, where Poseidon might not just be as used to MCM as Blank is to Wish Mode, I think may hurt them a little bit, even more so, which is just going to put more pressure onto some of those other classes. Especially, I'm going to be looking at Waterson and Evil and Etney too, honestly, to really kind of step up and be that difference maker and prove, their seasons of experience here against the team that really is, and has been favored to take the season since day one.
I like that you brought up the soldiers Etney specifically because this soldier matchup in my head is so funny. Demento versus Etney on soldier in RGL season 11 grand final or upper bracket finals is something that not a lot of people probably ever thought they would be seeing.
Back it's in just UGC season 22, yeah.
And it might not be the most hype soldier matchup, with the most mechanically skilled soldiers, but this is a matchup between soldiers that have an incredibly good idea of how the game is supposed to work and what that class can do when played properly. So it's going to be really interesting to track these soldier players and see, what they decide to do, if they decide to do bombing, how often they decide to put pressure forward with their team. And since we will have a stopwatch, we're going to be seeing banner building as well.
Yeah, and something that the main reason I brought up Etney personally is, I think, as you said, Etney versus Demento is very entertaining. For reference, when Kids Next Door were in their glory days, Demento was on Spy, Etney was on Soldier, and that relationship kind of continued for quite some time until, I think it's really only this season, I think Jacob's actually committed to a full season of off-classing. Or no, he played Sniper. He
played Sniper once.
To mixed results. But I bring up Etney here because Etney is a player that, as someone who's played against him, his playstyle seems to me to have been shaped by all the time he spent on teams like K&D, where his team, was either favorited or very solid, right? And he is not the type of... He does not have a lot of volatility to his playstyle. as, or traditionally, as we mentioned, right? Top teams do not want variance. You don't need your soldier going for like Muma style whip bombs off cooldown to, maybe he'll like nuke from orbit and get a 3k, or he might just go careening into a reflect air shot and die. That's not something that you want your soldier doing when you have a team that's always favored to win. But in a match like this, I think the difference in just caliber of player and team cohesion is enough that I'm really going to be looking towards Etney and Evil as well as being one of those major kind of advantage finders for MCM. Someone that's going to be going and being that agent of chaos, finding those big plays. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on him to see if he'll be able to kind of transition into that role.
Yep, and we do have predictions on your guys' screen now. You can do them in the chat. Whatever scoreline you feel like this will be on Ashville. It's honestly closer than I thought it'd be. For Wish Mode 3.5, MCM, I see 2.2 on the screen right now. That's closer than I thought it would be, because perception in my mind of where these two teams stand is Wish Mode dominated all season, and MCM looked shaky on the map last week. As a result, this is Wish Mode's pick. They're confident on this, but the fact that a lot of people think MCM can take, more than 2 rounds here is very interesting. We'll have to see if that comes through, as the ready up is here, and we're going to be going.
Yeah, Zach, I'll ask you for your prediction real quick right as we go in here.
4-1 Wish Mode. I'll be quick on it.
I'm going to be depressing and go 4-0 Wish Mode here. I'm unconvinced of MCM's Ashville ability after last week. As we do move into the first mid here, Exile and Joey Lemons both going back and forth. Yeah, Exile's depths on mid were a major boon for somebody helped last week, but Adam's going to be the first one taken out. But Blake's Joey Lemons and Blake going down shortly thereafter. Evil and Exile coming up big here. Nixie will find the shot onto Casper. So the meds have been equalized, and now AGB with that revolver of his own.
Oh, he's doing so much work on the bats.
A ton of work onto bats right there. Stalls Poseidon a lot of MCM, and that being said though, the combo deaths are too much for Wish Mode to hold up. So, proving me wrong right from the bat, Waterson finds himself with a 3k, including one onto the med. 6 points on the board as the mid fight goes over to MCM.
Super interesting mid there. It went really fast. A lot of key players died early. It just evolved into chaos. We saw AGB with that revolver nearly pick up a demo man pick, which would have been crucial for recontest, but instead Waterson comes back in and bats, wins the SPS, and buys his team the point. So now we're going to be holding this. Both meds about 50% Uber. AGB gets caught on his cross and will get exploded, so no spy in the backline for this one. Looks like the combo for the side of Wish Mode has dropped down as Waterson wins another SPS into the shutter. So Joey Lemon's caught out here. Gonna have to retreat through shutter. Adam eats a headshot, and they're gonna be retreating. That's okay for now. They didn't lose too many key players, and they're just waiting for Uber.
Very interesting here is that Casper died after Blake did and built 25% sooner. Not gonna end up coming into,
Waterson sack.
Too much focus, yeah. As Jacob unable to find really any damage on Casper at all. The Uber popped out from Wish Mode right here. Joey Lemon's going to run Casper. No! Unable to get that Uber off in time. Perfectly arced by Joey Lemons. Exile going in as the Spam Fest. Wrangling on a fast, trying to get what she can. But some frags are going to be picked up. Poseidon finds 2. But he's not going to be able to look for the kill onto the medic. Blake keeps his life. And despite the great mid-fight out of MCM, Casper dropping there makes it not all for naught as they managed to take almost half the clock off, but definitely a demoralizing turn of events.
Yeah, that mistake from Casper to not pop that Uber brings Wish Mode firmly back into this game. Amazing job cleaning up the leftover players, sacking in, protecting their medic at the end. So now they're going to be sitting here. Blake has a 30% Uber ad, and they have control of the point with all 9 players up. So now we'll have to see how MCM handles needing to push in. We do see AGB is in the backline calling this fans walk. They are going to drop onto point strikes and drive pressure. Remember, only 50% Uber, but they do get an entry onto Blake. Sand will be a trade.
To blank, yeah, as Jacob in deep, gonna find Exile. Casper though gets stabbed out by AGB. I think that was near shutter, I want to say. Yep, exactly where it was. Etney now going in. Almost. Blake has the fancy feet right there. Etney, but Evil comes in. Drop number 2 of the match as Blake not willing to use in a situation like that. And honestly, I can't blame him. He uses there's no pressure. He's gonna respawn in, 8 seconds or so anyway. It's not that much of a loss at the risk of potentially holding it, so.
That one is not Blake's fault at all, and he jumped forward on Toxic on the barrels and got like 3 rockets off. That was not his fault at all. He's like, I'm not popping to this, and just got revolver to one shot across the map. So just bad job protecting the medic there from Wish Mode. They could kind of just got outpaced on the sacks, but now recontest coming in, they're going for Casper at 1, and Demento finding that fadeaway rocket with the help of his spy pressuring, and they are going to get that med pick. There are some counterfrags though. Larson and Evo get a couple of kills stalling this out. They are going for the med once again, but not going to find it. 5k for Adam here, cleaning up the bombers. Just one pyro left, make it a 6th kill onto TK there. Joey Lemons picking that one up, and again, good defense onto their medic this time around, and they keep the point.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right there. Blake faking at 80%, but will have sooner rather than later. Spam coming in, Etney going for a little bit of a horizontal jump just to get a rocket on. Jacob going to be taken out though. Casper knows that the skies are clear for the moment. Blake comes up though, used onto Joey Lemons to try to clear this point. Great job tonight by TK. Joey Lemons floated. Yeah, no one is here to kill this pyro. He will actually get separated from the Uber. Great play by TK there to stall that Uber out. Point goes back over to MCM, but not after 2 minutes of him taken off the clock by Wishmode.
Phenomenal play there by TK though. He recognized the scout was dead in the Uber and he just held W and right-clicked them into the air. If there's no scout, no one can take that pyro down if the heavy isn't there, and they just got so much pressure. Demento now going in over the top, looking for something. A lot of spam coming through. They will get Poseidon and Sand if that's all it finds. In the meantime, Wishmode are drive pressuring out here with that bomb in tow. They're going to see if they can get pressure onto the point. Although Uber is had right now for Casper. They're down Exile and Sand though, so they can't contest without Demo Man or Scout, so they're going to have to let this one get capped up.
AGB gets some counter espionage onto Evil right there. Something that I've noticed Casper has a habit of doing on Ashville is trying to play bombs near Shutter, which is something that's very high risk, high reward because it gets you off of that choke spot of ramp, but at the same time it makes repushing very difficult. That being said, they will use back in here, but Blake has in return flashing blank in onto this Uber. Spamfest goes down, so kills and presence are in favor of Wishmode right here. Etney jumping onto the ramp will barely survive. Burns out though to a detonator. As Captime comes in, but Jacob's found Waterson in the back line. No sniper means that Joey Lemons can play wide here. Casper gets revolvered down by AGB. I'm not sure where that was. It must have been in Shutter.
He surfed it back explosives onto Fen, but he was so low that he's got revolver sniped with the help of a scattergun chip on the roof. So MCM, like you said, that Uber, they weren't able to get any presence, and as a result, they lost their medic and didn't get the capture. Now, 5 seconds left for Wishmode. MCM need to get on this point, cap it up, and not give it up for the rest of the round. They're going to go on top. Evil is dead early, though. Sticky's going to get detonated, and there's a lot of damage being poured. They can't quite get on it. Time's expiring. They have to walk forward. Oh, but Exile gets sniped, and no one else can get there in time. That frag from Nixie ends that round, and that will be the 1-0 in favor of Wishmode.
Something that I love about watching Wishmode is that they are not, just because they're the #1 seed, they are not flawless. You are going to find advantages on them, but they're the type of team that will just make sure every fight they take is a 70-30, so that over the course of the 6 minutes in a Koth round, they'll win more than they'll lose. Exile getting hit super low, goes down. His deaths on mid were something to watch out for in the previous match last week, and it's rearing its ugly head again as frags are only going over to Wishmode. Jacob gonna train out with Casper. That is the only pick they found so far. Waterson finds one onto Adam before quickly being taken out by AGB. Clean mid-fight from Wishmode here.
I want to say that answers a question we posed in pregame of how would Blank fit into this combo. Even though he was on Sniper, he was with the team earlier in the season. He played that exactly like Wish would have. Joey Lemons calls out, I have damage onto Exile. He just runs forward beam, does 3 shots on Exile, he goes down, and then the mid is 1 from there. So synergy on point for the combo of Wish modes. They're going to hold this point with a 50% Uber ad.
He played that exactly as Emily would have from last week, just running at Exile on the mid-fight. Waterson going for a peek off of ramp, though. Blake might be in the sightline, but no, playing too far back, looking for Etney to just jump over onto ramp, or Jacob, excuse me, not Etney, as, might mix them up a couple times, not gonna lie. But Blake has Uber, Casper coming up on 90, but 40 seconds of Earth, 45 really, even milked off the clock, with no even attempts at pushing from...
now.
Yeah, from MCM, they are flooding out of Shutter. Etney's going to be taken out first. Casper milking here. Still hasn't used yet. Uber's going to be popped first out from Blake, actually, but Waterson goes down.
They have to catch Poseidon, though. They can't drop their scout like that, and because of that, now they have no cleanup for post. 0 frags for MCM on that, and with all these players down, they can't even cap the point, so really off Uber from MCM. They waited too long. They baited... I feel like they baited Poseidon, but also he just wasn't, like, ready to get back to the beam, so it's just a mess of an Uber all around from the combo of MCM. They're not going to get anything from it.
And I mean, maybe that's, what happens when you have a scout that you haven't played with all season. A spam fest in enemy territory under bats. Looking to maybe escape out through lower. She will live as MCM able to just abuse their faster spawns here. Get back in. Yeah, see a Sandman kill coming up. The toys always
AGB, he's on the mid!
Danger.
He can't get the kill. That's so close from AGB, but it looks like with the damage that they're calling to have, Wishmode want to regress here. They're grouped on bats, but with Adam down, they are just going to opt to wait for this Uber charge. 95% for Blake. They'll have in very short order here. Will they go while Casper doesn't have? They need 15% on the side of MCM. And here's the Uber. Casper needs to escape with his life. Already out through Shutter. He will be able to get back. And although the point gets pressured over, they will be able to repop in here for MCM.
Yeah, Exile did a great job of just jumping to stall. The Uber comes back out from Casper. Sand not going to be so lucky, but it is enough to force Wishmode back right here. Unable to take the point with that Uber.
Yeah, they didn't get any kills. Once again, Poseidon was forward in Shutter. No one on his team was there to help them, and they didn't get a single kill with that Uber, and they can't take the point if that's the case. They got the capture, sure, but temporarily only. That's going to get flipped over now. Doman bombing in Exile. One pipe can't hit the second onto Blake, so not going to be able to flip that Uber advantage in his team's favor. Recap for Wishmode as quickly as they gave it up, and now minute and a half left on the clock for them, 2 minutes for MCM. It's a closer round than last, but MCM haven't really found themselves an advantage to get a lead off of.
Yeah, just, I mean, again, Sticky's going down on Shutter from Joey Lemons right here, as MCM's ability to push without an Uber has seemed a tad suspect, to be completely honest here, as they've just been allowing time to be milked off here when, you know, it feels like Wishmode is always constantly trying to push something. AGB is going to be the first one to go down.
Ooh, Blank's dead.
So slight number add. Yeah, but Blank goes down. No scout either. Great position by Sand on these boxes right here. Taking up damage, but Nixie taking out Water Signal. That hurts as the Uber comes out, but Blake skyboxed instantly. Not going to be able to pick up Joey Lemons in the meantime. The Uber comes back out. Exile chasing deep into Shutter. Good job air blasting out from Carson. They're able to get Blake out. But the point will go back over to MCM. 30 seconds on the clock remaining for Wishmode. They're going to need to pull off at least one successful defense here to even out the time.
That's one of the moments where a Devilman wins an Uber without doing a point of damage. Those sticky skyboxing the enemy Uber combo just bought them so much time, and with that, they took the point for the first time in quite a bit. It's now a 1 minute deficit for MCM as they do lose Waterson in downtime, which is going to be very bad. Nixie now has priority. He is on fire right now, but he gets a sandwich. He'll be just fine. Scoping through Shutter. Wishmode are funneling onto point, trying to take this cap in the off Uber time. Exile getting jumped on by Demento. He can't hit the rocket. Good air blast from TK. Going to save his Devilman, and the point hasn't got capped over, so MCM are still favored here. Both meds are even, but they just lost 2 big kills in Sand and Etney.
Yeah, something I want to contest you just said is that Waterson went down when lost them in downtime. There is never downtime for Wishmode. All you have is times where you're really fighting and times where you're
kind of fighting.
Just be fighting. Yeah. So there's almost, when you have the point against this team, there's almost no times you can really safely die. It feels like, unless you're maybe changing and swapping out for a med, they will find whatever, you know, advantage you give them and push on it, Uber or not.
Yeah, and speaking of Uber, here one comes in just a second. Going across the point is Wishmode. Oh no, Poseidon, he is dead in the Uber once again, and they can't get any cleanup. Only 2 kills going in favor of MCM, 4 for Wishmode. Post is heavily in favor of Wishmode here. There's a lot of damage onto this Pyro and Delman, and TK will get arrowed by Blake. Insult to injury there as everyone's going to get collapsed on, killed in short order, and there is the 2-0 lead at the first half for Wishmode.
Yeah, again, that might be the exact same amount of time as there was last round. It was either 50 seconds or 110 in that first round. So, again, it's not that MCM isn't finding advantages, right? It's like we said, Wishmode will present advantages. They're so aggressive that those 70-30s they take, you know, the 30 will come up from time to time, but they win enough and they're aggressive enough that even when they lose point, feels like MCM, is just waiting for their Ubers to do anything. I've seen very little from them in terms of dry pushing, whereas a large number of retakes from Wishmode have been dry.
Yeah, they do it off of, Jacob's bombs. He does tons of damage in Shutter, forces them back. The rest of his team will come out and take space on the point. Logs up on your screen. Joey Lemons with 500 DPM, 8 and 2. 2 deaths for Joey Lemons. That's the sub 3 death mark we're talking about. Exile, meanwhile, he tripled that mark at 9 deaths. Granted, he's putting out a lot of damage, and MCM are on the losing end, so that's just naturally going to happen, right? Other than that, pretty much a lot of standard stuff coming out. We see both scouts actually doing 300 DPM. I'm surprised Poseidon hit that mark, I'm not gonna lie, considering he got dropped on probably half their Ubers or more.
You know what's nasty? Blake tied Etney in frags, went positive on medic, and did 60 DPM!
Yeah, and he bottom death as well, so...
60 DPM on med!
How do you have 60? I want to see the heal stats. Let's see, 150 compared to... Wait, heal? No, that's self-healed per minute, is it? It has to be self-healed per minute, yeah.
He did that while putting up 1,500 heals a minute.
And Casper was at?
1320.
Okay, so is that the best half a medic has had that we've seen in Invite in quite a while? Besides, like, a deathless half, right?
Yeah, if we're including deaths, it's hard to look at that. I mean, maybe like if he, I don't know, hit like some crazy saw to like get an Uber in double overtime or something, maybe you could do that. But from a statistical standpoint, anytime you break 1500, you're basically mechanically flawless.
Yeah, and another thing about Blake's death is one of them was like a drop to a spy, right? Which you can argue is his fault or not, depending on the circumstance that he got stabbed.
Well, no, he wasn't a stab though. Remember, it was the.
Oh yeah, it was the revolver. Yeah,
it was the revolver.
Yeah, that was not his fault at all.
The Uber isn't like it wasn't even a valuable
Blake
Uber.
Played that scenario perfectly. Actually, he juked Etney on the box and then said, "I'm not popping to this." And then he just got cleaned up because his team couldn't kill the Sackers fast enough. So honestly, Blake had a perfect half there. That was a phenomenal performance from Blake.
He died on the very first mid.
Yeah.
When his team was collapsing. That's really about it. Yeah. And I want to point out too that not only did he get 1500 heals a minute, he did 60 DPM. So either he just fired one crossbow a minute and was guaranteed to hit it, or was doing so much in terms of healing that he had the time to just be shooting off crossbows while his team was fully buffed.
Yeah, he got the kill on the pyro at the end there to clean up the point. So Blake doing it all for Wish mode. And, we're harping on Blake a bit here. I should say we're bringing him up a lot just because, it's a cool thing to look at the stats. The reality is this half was pretty skewed in Wish mode's favor. Yes, MCM did get around 2 minutes off the clock in both their rounds, but it really felt like in neither of these rounds was there ever a point that MCM were in a winning position for the entire round, right?
Other than that first mid, pretty much. They got about a minute and a half off that first mid fight.
Yeah, and after that, they were never.
After that, they were only, getting scraps from Wish mode. Yeah, and granted, right, this is Wish mode's map. They're the #1 seed. To expect to beat them here is probably not MCM's move. Maybe you'd like to see a bit of a stronger performance, but I'd really be waiting until Vigil. As we do get into the third mid fight here, Adam gonna be the first one going down. Jacob though finds big damage in on ramp, but there is the answer back from MCM. Running off kills on everyone. AGB the only one alive, and is going to be live long enough so that it's not a full team ace, but that explosive mid-fight we saw in that first round comes back from MCM.
Yeah, you mentioned wanting to see Etney be a playmaker. He found Blake there at the end with a good bomb onto ramp, did some damage as well to help his team win that mid-fight decisively. So MCM, different shades here. Like you said, it mirrors the first round. The question is, will they be able to keep this momentum? They do have full Uber advantage, which they didn't have last time though, so if MCM are able to play this one out properly, they should be good. Good surf! Out of the stutter there by Casper. He took I believe a pipe and just went all the way back to stay safe and keep his Ubers. So denying the sack successfully is MCM.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Casper didn't have to back out into Shutter, where I tried to allude to this before. Casper sometimes will play sacks in Shutter, and if like the sack gets denied, that's fine, but if there's a lot of aggression behind it, it's just not a spot he can stay in. It ends up forcing him to rotate out somewhere. So being able to, maintain that defensive positioning is definitely stronger, but it looks like they're already looking to rotate towards Shutter now. Going on to Bats to use this Uber. Blank will go down, yeah. So no scout in this as Exile drops down onto boxes. Uber popped out. Seems a little bit early, but Exile jumps in here. Watterson Jacob taken out in the fight. Exile will get out. Yeah, as Casper loops back around towards Bats. The recontest from boxes seems to be working for MCM.
That said, they are going to lose 3 players, Evil and Etney, going down to the heavy Adam on that Bats area. So with that, they're going to be down almost everybody. They lose to TK as well, trying to defend that. And those deaths, when the Uber was in post, were just not what MCM needed to keep control of that point. Granted, a minute and a half off the clock. This is better than they did in round 1, and they're going to have a small Uber ad. So even if that ending wasn't the prettiest, MCM are still firmly in the lead here.
Yeah, as AGB gets caught out, so no spy is able to call any potential rotations or sacks ahead of time. Not that they're going to need to sack, though, with this small ad, they have to use it. Immediately they have a blank, and Jacob going down right away. Enemy going in, finds Nixie as well. Blake is alive, but only Carson left with him, and barely manages to escape with his life there. But great play by Etney and the rest of MCM there, as we said, being that playmaker.
Oh my god, Hyphen! He has the glow stick here, doing some funny cleanup.
Yeah, finds 2 right there. As that may actually provide a bit of a window for Wishmode to go back in on.
Yeah, those 2 kills that he got are still going to be respawning.
Oh, unable to get...
Oh, they pop immediately.
Forces cap.
Oh, big snipe.
Yeah,
oh, they kill Adam too!
Here.
It's just a solo Scout Uber. They're gonna get Carson in at the end here, but with only Scout Demo or Scout Pyro, no one can do the initial damage, and that Uber from Wish Mode essentially wasted here as they lost key players right before it went off. So MCM, they're gonna keep control of this. They're gonna keep Uber, and they're gonna be less than a minute on the clock to taking their first round here on Ashville.
Yeah, as again, slight ad on Casper right here, but Bookman's not too much Uber, which, you know, normally would favor the defensive team, but with Wish Mode, you know, you never know. That being said, Jacob's not in any position to immediately bomb. Nixie and Adam both go down here. So two potential players that could take a lot of ground for Wish Mode dead right now. It's going to come down to the wire for Wish Mode here, and they still have 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Blake building very well, though. He's actually going to pass Casper in Uber. It won't matter too much. They're going to get about the same time, but very good building, and now they need every second they can get if you are Wish Mode. They're grouping up on bats. Poseidon going down early is big. No scout for the Uber exchange. Exile trying to take some ground to hopefully make them pop early. He does succeed. He needs to get flashed out, but they're going to drop. Joey gets sending their drops to 95. That building from Blake was actually the difference maker, and with that, they're going to get all the combo kills, and MCM not able to stand up. This will get capped up by Wish Mode here after some cleanup. They are going to lose a couple players. It won't be the end of the world there. Keep in mind this is overtime, so they can wait for them to spawn up, but they need to be careful. Spawners are coming in.
Yeah, that building, as you mentioned by Blake, he turned a 15% dis ad at about
into
20%.
A 10% ad.
Into a 10% ad, yeah. Casper going down at 95, just caught out against it. Brings back echoes of playing against Nursey back with K&D, where she would just outbuild you by 20% every time, and you're like, how do I compete with this? So, great play by Casper there. Jacob going to be taken out, a little bit too aggressive on bats, and that's really bad for them. They can't afford to drop anyone. Blake goes down, peeks the shutter a little bit too hard. Waterson finds the shot, and Adam now hurt up. This damage is all sticking from MCM. Walking out of shutter is the rest of the team. Nixie goes down, so no sniper means that this round may almost be won for MCM as is. Carson trying to get in right here. Lots of chip work being done, but no heals means that none of it's sticking. Cap time increasing, and we're going to see MCM take their first round on Ashville.
Very amazing turnaround there by MCM. They took what worked from the first half. They had their decisive, aggressive mid, and this time they didn't fumble the bag too hard at any other point. So they're able to maintain their lead, shut Wish Mode out of the round. That play, I want to reiterate how good of a play that is from Blake there to essentially build 25% faster than his opposition. It won them the point, but Waterson in the end with the shutter peak turns things around by giving Blake another death on the board. So new mid fight rolling out. Neither Domain goes down early this time, so this will be a bit of an extended mid. We do see Nixie being the first casualty by Heavy, which isn't something you see often, and now 3 men all down for the side of Wish Mode. They're getting collapsed on as Demento will die. Evo and San are trades, but numbers in favor of MCM. They got a mini building, they got players walking across, they got a spam fest in their face, and they're gonna do tons of damage, take down the combo. Etney again gonna find Blake for a second straight mid, and that's another successful fight for MCM.
They gotta kill Exile on these mids, man. We learned last week Exile is a mid-fight player. The man will cause chaos if he's allowed to exist for more than 3 seconds on a mid-fight. And Wish Mode clearly didn't learn their lesson here, as 3 out of the 4 rounds have seen a highly dominant mid from the side of MCM here. Jacob trying to maybe get a little bit of damage, and Waterson fighting Nixie though. No sniper on the offense means that they can play wide if they want. Jacob getting levitated in.
Down.
That's an awkward trajectory for a soldier. Not sure I've ever seen that exact shape before. And trying to walk in, Wish Mode is just finding themselves getting mulched here. Saiyan playing super aggressive on boxes. Had himself a great half. Tops or a round last round. Top scored underneath Casper. As playing forward on the boxes, you love to see it.
Funny story about that trajectory from the Demento. He does that only because Casper's known for playing in front of shutter. So he strafes over the barrels, but because the mini's on the back corner, it floats him up towards the bats. So that's where that comes from. But now, 100% Uber for both teams. We will see players trying to keep their lives, get some heals, drop off of bats now for Wish Mode. They're going to be popping onto Demo Scout here. Return pop comes out. It's a solo onto Exile, which means better Uber. Now TK gets a quick flash to keep him alive, but Wish Mode not finding too many kills. They will get Waterson. Demento finding that crucial sniper pick in the backlines. He continues to cause havoc as well. In the meantime, Spamfest Teleporter going to go down, and point recontest is happening. A lot of players on bats. They're doing a lot of damage, but Casper will die to an arrow from Blake. In the meantime, Spamfest is revenge critting people, said you can't have all the fun hype, and then takes down 2 more. The point is still in favor of MCM. They have more players, but worse health. Stalling out time, though, is beneficial for MCM. They still have the point, and they're going to be below a minute and a half.
Yeah, MCM has only been getting better and better as these rounds have gone on. They drop enough players here that Wish Mode will be able to take over here. Blade's kill onto Casper, definitely helping out right there. But something I want to point out right now, Waterson is 1 point away from 6xing Nixie on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Nixie and AGB have not been allowed to play the game so far, and I think it's one of the major reasons why we're seeing MCM play so well. The pick class
You cast a curse him, though.
Yep.
Nixie got his first SBS win right there, and he's going to follow it up with one into TK, so now Nixie on the board because Alto enabled him, and we will see Uber come out. It's a bit early there from Wish Mode, though. I believe they were just kind of scared that a push was going to come out. Casper is long gone and building this one in lobby with his team. Now 80% for Casper. This is a moment where MCM can take full control of the second round of the second half. We'll have to see what they do. It looks like a shutter pop is in order.
Yeah, walking forward right here, gotta milk it really long as Casper. I don't think he's planning on not using
Demento's
here,
in the back.
Great call, but yeah.
Early.
Coming in, yeah, over the ramp is Demento. Not going to find any damage onto Casper, though. And he's going to manage to hold on to this Uber, which is a great hold for them. They're stalling right now just to get some spawns up. They will get 3 off of that. And they have enough of a time lead that they're not going to be punished at all for doing it.
Yep, now 100% Uber for Casper. MCM have all 9 up. 1 minute left on the clock to even this thing up. Lake only on 65%. Will stall a bit for Wishmode to get this Uber. As now Nixie going to be taking a sniper angle on point. If he could find an opening here, it would be what Wishmode need to get back into this round. He doesn't hit the shot, and he will have to rescope. No one going down quite yet. It's just building Uber Blake on 95%.
Yeah, they don't have too much time to work with here. They need to go in and cap this, before we get down to 10-15 seconds. But Adam dropped immediately from the shutter. Uber coming across right here, but way better use out of Casper right here. Blank getting chased out in shutter. Gets knocked in by the Stinkies. Will manage to keep his life, but AGB and Nixie going down. Jacob trades out with Exile. No demo's going to be big for Exile. Been having a great second half right now. So the window is there for Wishmode with no demo. They just need to take it.
Yup, and neither med went down, so both teams gonna have heals. There will not be an Uber in time for this recontest as Wishmode have 10 seconds to get on the point. Joey Lemon's trying to use advantage, but Watterson, big snipe onto Blake, follow up onto Nixie, taking down Medic Sniper. Now it's about cleaning up the point. They're trying to go, but the health is terrible. Etney, big 2K, they're gonna get a couple, but what is it only for Wishmode if just to extend the suffering? Adam Ifen can't get on there in time, and with that, it's gonna be a 2-2 tie here. MCM evening things up.
Can't say I expected that in the slightest. I really want to highlight real quick what a great play from MCM there to shift Watterson and Sand over to boxes because they knew the overtime push had to be coming in. If you play your players there and right after a mid fight, it's very easy to force them out with pressure from under and jumping people onto bats. But when you know that the enemy team is on their own bats during overtime and they don't have time to really dedicate people to force you out, that positioning is so smart, but it's something you can only really do without getting punished at the end of a round. And to take advantage of that, great situational awareness. And I mentioned it in the lead-in, we always talk about it, that adaptation, right? They adapted to the situation. They've adapted to AGB. He's no longer finding free kills anymore like he was in the first half, and they've managed to pull it even. And I'd say they've got momentum going forward because their rounds were much more dominant than Wishmode's were.
Yeah, and they've also adapted to having Watterson plug in his mouse, so now he's just rolling Nixon. he didn't perform bad in the first half, by any means, but that was just a pop-off performance from Watterson there. 14 kills, 7 deaths. He still topped out this team, by the way, and he put out 525 DPM. That is Watterson hitting every shot that matters in that round.
Top fragged, or top damage, but didn't top frag, which that goes to
Etney, the playmaker.
15 and 7, yeah. Doing exactly what I pinned him to do, rising to the challenge. And by the way, Casper 1536 heals per minute.
There you go. Whichever med breaks 1500 heals will be the winner, is what
Blake
we can tell.
Blake at 1400 himself, but I'm looking at these logs right here. Joey Lemon's 2 and 11, getting. That's that's the exile treatment.
Yeah, the Doman switched score lines this half. Etney popped off. Okay, if you were to show me these two games, right, and didn't have the scores on, right, I would assume the same team won both halves, right? In the manner that they did it with the same classes that were popping off, I would assume that both teams, the same team won both halves without name tags. That's the kind of game this was.
Yeah, so while we have the opportunity I want to ask you the question, because this might be the first time we've asked it all season. What does Wishmode need to do here?
Ooh, never thought I'd have to answer that one on cast, so let's see. Honestly, shutting down Watterson should be, step number 1. I feel like if you're the combo of Wishmode, you can kind of, say bad half, off half. Normally Joey Lemons is a lot more prevalent than that. He dies a lot less than that. I feel like one of the things you can do is focus down this sniper, and AGB wasn't having a good half, and if your spy's not going to have a good half, the least you could do is, constantly pester the sniper to give your team an in. So maybe he tries to do that. Maybe they try to just play different sight lines, play different angles of approach to try and, pin down Waterson, make sure he can't just go on massive tears like that. But I feel like the easiest thing to solve is there. Other than that, probably soldiers. Like we mentioned, Etney doing 400 DPM, 15 kills. It feels like he's coming in at the perfect time to just get tons of kills and make a bunch of plays. So maybe keep better track of Etney as well.
Yeah, something I want to point out, of Nixie's 11 deaths, none were to Spy, only 3 to Sniper. So pick classes, he might be losing some SVSs, but he's not getting stabbed. He's not getting revolvered. He's dying to other things, which means that something is wrong there. But as we come into this mid, super aggressive onto Joey Lemons, but Nixie will find the SVS onto Waterson. Jacob deep in ramp does a lot of damage, and that might be enough for Wishmore to follow up on. Tables have been flipped on this mid-fight. Bit of over-aggression maybe from MCM. Gonna get punished as a really great bomb from Jacob. Does a ton of damage on ramp. Forces them back. Both meds will survive. Very slight ad for Casper, but Wishmode answering back with a mid-fight win of their own.
Yeah, calling it over-aggression is a bit disingenuous when they win by aggression. I feel like we saw Wishmode take a lot of better focuses there, where we saw early focus on the SVS win. Demento bombed early over the ramp to give his team space to move forward, so I feel like that was just Wishmode doing a much better job. Meanwhile, we'll see some counter-espionage win by AGB this time, taking out Evil. Both meds now on 100%, everyone up but Evil, so exchange likely to come soon. AGB is in the backline, though, calling this one out. It looks like the combo's going to go through Shutter here in just a second.
Yeah, as Ubers popped out from both sides about at the same time. A couple more flashes on the side of Wishmode right here. So MCM will better Uber, yeah. Blank getting a hit up a little bit, but will not go down by the time Poseidon's own Uber fades. I heard a headshot go out onto someone. Not sure who, though, as nothing's in the kill feed yet. Here comes Evil, though, unable to find the kill. Gonna try to revolver Carson down, doesn't find it. Kills are even, but no Waterson for MCM. No sniper means that there could be some wide play coming in here as PK gets super close and aggressive. Gonna lose his own life, though, but it may have been enough pressure for MCM to come in and recap.
Yeah, you mentioned Waterson being down, but Nixie was hit to 1 HP by a pipe and Shutter. He could not wide peek at all, and as a result, MCM are able to walk up and clean up that ramp, get a man advantage, and take the point. First cap of the round for MCM. 1 minute difference in between these two teams, as now both teams 80% Uber about, so another even Uber exchange going to be coming up here in just a second. We'll have to see how Wishmode wants to try and reapproach this one.
Yeah, as we see, an attempt at just trying to get things over. Blake at 95, Casper does have, so Uber's going to be coming down soon. They drop off Spamfest and Carson, going to be the first two dead. But Sand drops Blake with the lower flank. He's stealthily been having a great past few rounds, and he puts an exclamation point on it by dropping Blake with the Tomislav sneak play through lower. Submarine Heavy is not dead, and that's going to milk so much time for the side of MCM. They did end up having to use Uber there, but you'll take that hold.
Who is the famous clip of the medic dropping to a heavy on upward first? Was it the Kyla Fox drop?
Yeah.
Where the same situation comes through. Either way, with that drop now, cap time is going in favor of MCM. Both meds at about 50%. Blake, a small advantage, won't matter too much. Now Adam going to get stabbed. Evil will be traded out as frags, going over in favor of MCM. Not too surprising here, as more so just like forward pressure, trying to get the cleanup while they do build this Uber. That said, Blake hasn't been building very well. That went from a 10% disad to, a 30% disadvantage. So Casper this time getting the heals out.
I don't think it's fair to Blake to call that a Kai the Fox moment, if only because she got chipped down from the heavy from 60. Sand was on the close wall in lower. Blake evaporated because no one knew he was there. So reaction time is a thing there. And I mean, you're not expecting the heavy to be there, so you might, be a little bit delayed in that. So not a pretty sight, right? But at least understandable, Man's only human after all. But the Uber will come out again now. Popped off this time. Poseidon dropped again, though. Troubling thing we saw back from the first half. Kills going over into Wishmode's favor here. Couple of assorted picks on the lower value classes.
He's catching Exile out. He's going to butter knife him to death, and he will end up going down after he pipes himself with the spy. And all men up now for the side of Wishmode. That was a very good aggression by them to get everyone on point forward. That early drop from Poseidon again hurting them, because even though we saw Exile doing some damage, no one could clean up on it at all. They get 0 frags, and Wishmode are able to flip this one back in their favor. That said, 1 minute deficit. We flip-flopped the timeout on this one, so we'll have to see how they're able to hold the point. It is a 20% ad for Blake here, so MCM need to spend a little more time building before they can contest it once again.
Yeah, right here is, again, that ad is going to help get a lot of time. Evil going in on Blake, not going to be able to find him. Very good turnaround right there as the knife gets melted anyway. But a couple players on MCM do go down, so no ground to be had here. Sand forced to back out from under bats, wrap back around. AGB alone on the enemy team's ramp has a clear, clear path there.
He's gonna get that arrow. AGB gonna be going in for some information call out where this push comes from, because both meds are up on 100%. Uber time is very shortly gonna be in the even territory, so MCM looking to make this push happen. They are grouping up once again on bats, looking to drop down. Sand is on the boxes, spamming over the roof. Blake does take half his health and damage, so he has to be a bit careful here, as now they're gonna get the full drop off. Sand takes some damage. Demento calls it out, goes over, and Uber exchange comes through. Scout going over the top. Blink gonna need a flash to get him back. Better Uber now in favor of MCM. They're gonna try to get some forward pressure. Joey has a spot on him though. Can't get that backstab. Evil will be damaged with the revolver. Can Joey stay alive? He's gonna burn out. He will die to a sticky on the other side though. Frags have gone in favor of Wish Mode. They're gonna lose Edney, Evil, and Sand. Bomb from Demento over the top. Gonna take down Casper at the barrels. And although MCM, things were looking good for them, they just dropped too many players in that post, and they're gonna lose the point.
And they had the presence and even got Joey in the meantime, but just weren't able to, stay alive in that. Good, so just like a good, kite out by Wish Mode here, and around that looked like, right after MCM had taken two back, they're looking to take this really great aggro play by Hyphen, great arrow onto him, keep him up and being annoying just a little bit longer as he kites into Shutter to stay alive. Casper's team evaporates around him right here as a little bit of cap time left. Beside doing his best, but can't do anything against the air blast. And Wish Mode, after dropping 2 in a row, come back, take round 5, put themselves on that point.
Yeah, 3-2 now for Wish Mode. It's been a very interesting chain of events going back and forth. Teams finding success in different halves, seeing what they can do. We'll have to see if MCM can break the 2-0 streak going forward and extend us. Keep in mind, match point, like Alto said, one more round for Wish Mode is all they need to go up 1-0. MCM, they can extend things here with a win. Exile, though, going to take a lot of damage early on. Demento, they're going to get a headshot out of his bomb. Now we see Soldier in the backline for the side of MCM. They're doing a lot of damage. As Carson, Joey going to drop. Exile will go down, but for way more kills in favor of MCM. They're going to clean up all the people they can and be able to take this mid. Blake will get out though, so that's a silver lining.
Yeah.
Oh, can it go? Heavy! Sand, another med pick from the Shutter. Shout out to TK with the detonator for lighting him on fire, cutting that healing. But that pick, that aggression is going to net them full Uber advantage.
That's a goofy death. That's a death that you don't want to see from a team that could win Invite. It's just sloppy play, and I mean, yeah, it's not a standard play, right? But a sniper could have done that if this thing happens.
Yeah, true. Meanwhile, we'll now see Demento over the top. They want to try and force this Uber out if you are Wish Mode. See what you can do, but Waterston getting that SBS win onto Nixie will hurt their chances of that. Joey going to drop down. Dry pressure from Wish Mode here. Remember, even if they don't have Uber, they love pushing forward. We'll see what they can do, but Casper going to die! Demento with a drop. Big play from the Soldier of Wish Mode. Now we see players go over the roof. TK going to go down. They're trying to get the kill onto Blake. Good surf out into lobby, onto the pack. He went all the way through like that was a surf map. Stays alive, keeps the Uber.
That really was like a surf map. I could only see the health bars, and I just saw him soar
I saw him fly all the way onto the pack.
Like into Shutter, basically.
Yeah. Now off of that, Wish Mode gonna take their first capture of the round. Nixie as well getting taken down. They're gonna extend the spawn. They might have to. He'll actually end up being up as Rikutat's gonna come out from MCM here through fans. They're dropping off, trying to find some damage with the sniper ad, but any Casper dying. Demento, a second straight med pick. You all group up on that crates, and Demento will jump on your head and take you down. Blank gets a couple consulate or some kills as well to help this cleanup, and now Wish Mode firmly in this round once they get this capture.
Yeah, as it finally goes over, but again, 1.5 minutes taken off by MCM, and their mid-fight wins have generally meant good things for them. They need to tie it up here, because if they can take Wish Mode's map, the chances of them winning Ashville are much higher than I think any of us might have thought going into this.
Yep, now dry pressure out there. Once again, want to get the force onto Blake. 2 good rockets from Etney. We'll get that one very quickly. Waterston's going to win another SBS onto Nixie, extending his spawn timer all the way up to 15 seconds. So with that force, we're likely going to see MCM do some dry pressuring. Sniper, Adam takes a headshot. Can't get the follow-up is Waterston, but a lot of damage being dealt. We'll have to see what they do. They're going to walk out fans once again.
Adams felt uncharacteristically quiet this game, as we mentioned him. Sand doing a lot of the things you'd expect him to be doing. But the push coming in from MCM right now. Exile on point, trying to edge it up. Jacob goes down before able to find anything left. Poseidon goes down again, a constant, non-factor in a lot of these pushes. Blank
AG's trying to revolve around, man. You gotta force. AGB just spammed him from fans and got that force out. That is crucial. Amazing play there by AGB to neutralize this Uber disad. So although MCM will get the point back temporarily, it's likely going to be a leapfrog here. A little bit of time going to be shaved off the clock for MCM, going to keep them in the temporary lead, but now the ball is in Wishmode's court.
Yeah, just great play by AGB. They're forcing out that Uber was so important because if they don't, then Wishmode's really likely looking at a potential tie score.
Okay,
you know,
Sam is going underneath.
But yeah, hiding in secret. I'm a big fan of this play. Wants to get something again. He's so close to Shutter. Gonna walk up and just kill Nixie.
He's going to collapse on though. Not going to get too much help as they did lose a couple players on the side of MCM.
We're able to pick up Carson off of it as well, though, in the distraction. And Blake,
what is this Uber? He got piped or something, or sticky. He's 1 HP.
Way back on bats. Yeah, what if that Uber just got completely wasted? A revolver coming through from Evil's gonna force him out there. Here's the spot.
Oh,
AGB coming in behind in lobby. Finds Casper mid-rotate. So it's, you know, all is not lost for Wishmode here as they will look to recap this. Exile jumping in, trying to get what he can. Blake popped up, but will not go down. Nothing in the vicinity looks to be able to threaten him right here, as he does take about 100+ damage.
I want to point out that right now, Blank, the scout for Wishmode, is on a 14k. He has 14 kills without dying in this round, just doing tons of work, cleaning up all the time. We saw him there, getting frags, cleaning up in post. If Blank keeps performing like this, it's just so hard to beat a scout that's this hot. So now we'll have to see what MCM want to do. They're likely going to try to get this medic pressure, get this
Waterson finds
forward.
Nixie, though. Blake's also hit up, kind of take some damage on ramp, so no sniper means MCM is able to walk in, and despite that kill streak from Blank, MCM is positioning themselves to win this round.
Yep, gonna get the recapture. 30 seconds left as now Uber being forced, and Wishmode have to use this. They need this cap as fast as possible. They're gonna go into Shutter, but TK does a good job denying. They are gonna get the kill onto Exile. Now up to 16 is Blank. They're gonna get some people. Hey! What a fadeaway onto that secret wall, getting the kill onto Blank. Blank 17, 18k. Can't save them now as they're down medic. They're down 80% Uber. They're gonna have to get this capture because it's about to be overtime for MCM, but now all they need is this Casper Uber and one good push to tie us up at 3-3.
There's an alternate timeline where in our 60s there'd be like bar trivia on Tuesdays, and the question's gonna be who carried the longest kill streak in a losing round in RGL invite, and it's gonna be Blank at 17 here.
18 now, and
18,
we'll see Spamfest overextend get picked out. Uber now gonna be going forward. This needs to go well for MCM. They're gonna get the mini sentry. That's not what they need, though. They need more. They're gonna walk into Shutter, and Poseidon chases down Blake to get that kill. Though Nixie gonna even things up. No medic for either side. Poseidon takes down Joey Lemons, although Adam cleaning up too. It's a lot of kills for both sides, but now Wishmode coming out on top. Remember, they do have a small spawn advantage. Actually, no, they have the point now, so no spawn advantage. Their spawners are taking a long time. MCM, they're going to be able to funnel out onto the point. Keep in mind, no heals. Medic's probably going to be up on quick fixes here.
Yeah, that's a good thing to check. Medigun still for Blake. Yeah, what about... Oh, Exile going down. That is not good. Yeah, both Mets on Uber. Interesting decision here. I would have liked to see the critics come out, but they're just trying to go for the cap here. Yeah, they've got it more than half pushed up already. Jacob bombing in on bats onto Stanford. But as he finds Blake, Joey Lemons goes down to a reflex pipe. MCM here looking to come in and get the cap.
The mini sentry's doing so much.
Blank goes down. Yep. Jacob bombed Spamfest but was unable to get the mini. And MCM are going to tie it up here, and we're at 3-3 on Ashville.
TK has 22 points, second scoring his team. He got a 5k at the end there, including a crucial reflect onto Joey Lemons with that pipe. TK doing tons of work cleaning that up, as well as the mini sentry from Spamfest. So with that, we're tied 3-3. Golden round here. Whoever wins this is going to go up 1-0 in our upper bracket finals.
Yeah, and I did not expect this to be here as we move into the last mid on Ashville. All the marbles and Nixie opens it up. The kill to Casper immediately even onto Blake. It is chaos right here, but MCM, despite not having a med, are going to pull ahead in the numbers right there. Achieving almost around AGB at 4 health is the one remaining player. No medic, no problem right here as MCM putting themselves in position to beat Wishmode on their own map here.
Yep, keep in mind though, both meds get sniped out immediately that mid. So that was a no-heal mid. They're gonna have to build up these Ubers from full. We do know that Wishmode, they're probably gonna put some drive pressure. They want to force this point to go through. But Waterson, again, opening things up with an SBS victory onto Nixie. We'll have to see now. He's gonna pressure forward, get some space. Every second off the clock, MCM get closer to this upset.
Yeah, is Hyphen gonna get caught out as well? Just, you know, not a major pick necessarily, but just one less body to do something. Yeah, Pimento going in, not gonna be able to find anything right there. Got a little bit of damage onto Casper, but gonna be playing it back. Look to heal up right there, gets the sandwich, and he's looking fine. Uber almost up on Blake's side, and I imagine we're not gonna see anything until then.
Yep, Casper building about 13% faster. That's kind of normal with the team defending. You have more people around you to get those crit heals on. As now, walkout is here. First, Uber comes out from MCM. They're going to get Demento. They're going to get Nixie. It's two-player advantage now, although Uber is in favor of Wish Mode. They're going to see what they can do in this post. Blank going to have to get out. No combo member has died for MCM. Now, recontest coming through. They're all on ramp now for Wish Mode. That means they're getting funneled. A lot of damage by Etney in the backlines on that ramp, getting a 4K. The entire combo gets wiped in an instant. Etney with a massive play.
That's the, that's what you want to see. Those are those exclamation points you need to see against the team that's looking to upset, one of the mainstays of that first seed in Invite right there. AGB getting just bloodhounded down underneath bats. Nothing else to do right now from MCM. Jacob going for the bomb, hits his head.
Oh, no.
Falls down a little bit early. Going to be the first death again in this repush. Blake only at 40% trying this dry fight, and it is working. They're finding kills onto MCM right here. No Uber, no problem. As they say, 40% disad doesn't mean anything until they actually hit 3 digits. So they will just walk right back in, but 2 minutes are already off the clock.
Yep, the Wish Mode aggression will eventually buy them this point, but like you said, 2 minutes off the clock, and Casper did not go down, so now even Uber's, it's a 2-minute cushion for MCM. They're gonna have Uber here in just a second to contest. Everything is in their favor to be able to take this round and close out. Exile unfortunately stickies himself. Hopefully it won't hurt them too much. They'll need to wait for him to respawn to go on this Uber.
Maybe that's a much costlier error in the match where you're not ahead 2 minutes and 4 seconds when they finally cap for the first time. As looking like Uber's going to come right out of Shutter, counter used back by Blake. AGB is going to be the only casualty so far, caught out by Spamfest. Positioning not really gained by MCM. Waterson's going to go down. Nixie able to find the SDS win. So Joey Lemons can play wide, and wide he will. Onto Barrels. Poseidon goes down. Etney and Jacob trade out on the sideline. But Exile so far forward, finally going to get pushed back by the heavy on boxes. Arrow will keep him alive, and the kills, though, are slowly going over to MCM.
Evil just walked out of Shutter and 3-shot Nixie with a revolver on Barrels. After that, they didn't have to be scared of that sniper disadvantage, so Evil helping his team walk up and take the point. You mentioned Exile doing a ton of damage, and although there's a couple cleanup kills for Wish Mode, they're losing the point. The deficit is cut. Well, they're gonna get TK. That's not the pick they need, as now Demento gonna go over the top. It will extend his spawn timer to say the least, so 1 minute deficit. Wish Mode, they want to go right away. It's 75% Uber for both Mets.
AGB gonna get caught out on the rotate, as is Jacob skied up there. Will find Waterson though. Surprisingly big pick there. Not sure I think he was expecting to get, but he'll take it. As no sniper means that the cap can be, stalled here. They can let Jacob get up and they don't have to worry about a sniper peeking them from Shutter. As they will get it, but only 30 seconds left for MCM here. They have Uber. Gonna have to imagine the push is coming shortly.
Yep, it's all about this push now. 30 seconds left on the clock for MCM. They need one good push and one hold in a desperation situation to win this round. Going over the top is Demento. Takes a lot of damage as Etney, first casualty. Uber now out of Shutter. They're trying to go forward, but Waterson will go down in SBS once again. No kills in the Uber yet for MCM. They get the Engineers buildings and the Spy, but they're going to need more here to take this post. But Poseidon gets sniped out. The SBS ad for Nixie. He had headshots as well, doing a lot of damage. Casper goes down. They're going to get Exile as well. There's a couple kills on Demento and Adam, but the majority of kills are in favor of Wish Mode. One more by Nixie, taking full advantage of his lone sniper position. Takes down TK, and now 1 minute on the clock for Wish Mode. They're going to have 50% Uber advantage as well by the time they can heal. Carson will go down, has a long spawn time, but Wish Mode are firmly in this now.
Yeah, that was exactly what they needed right there. Just a solid defense that starts out, Nixie. And they've been keeping Waterson down. Goes down again. You can see the dry push coming in their own, but they're already down 2. Bomb out of Jacob, going to do a lot of damage on point. AGB caught out though, so no picks to come in, but Adam standing tall in Shutter right now, chipping people away.
Nixie's there too.
Up Nixie as well. Yeah, Etney will find Hyphen on the sideline, so no minis. They're going to take that to go forward. Etney has bats under control. Can only be Shutter they can realistically peek from. As Etney's going to jump back, but the cap goes over right as the times equalize, and we're going to go down to the wire here.
Wish Mode need to go fast. They're at about 25% ad that they can take advantage of here. If we do see Casper get Uber, it's disastrous because remember, they could just stall a point with Uber. It's now 15 seconds left on the clock for MCM. 30 for Wish Mode. First Uber out. 95 for Casper. He needs to get in time. He's building at 98.99, and there's the immediate Uber encounter. They're walking forward. They're getting damage. Demento goes down first. Adam gets chased down as well as AGB. They're on the point. They have 9-6 in players. It's last minute from Wish Mode, but they're all getting mulched sand on a 6K. Etney gets a one onto Nixie. They're going to die die. It's only 3 players left for Wish Mode. They're gonna all go down full wipe, and that is MCM taking our first map upset 4-3.
I can't believe we just saw that. That is not the map. If Wish Mode was going to lose on a map this season, I was not expecting it to be Ashville. And I don't know. There's a lot to break down here, and
There's
a lot of really great play from
much
both
to
teams.
Unpack.
The main thing I thought of, though, was that last week we saw a very similar situation from MCM where they lost a round to E. They should have won because in that almost exact same situation, Exile used that Uber to jump onto Bats to chase frags. Learned his lesson. In that last Uber, they got a couple kills, but no one, extremely overextended on MCM. They played that perfectly. They know that, okay, just get 2 kills with this Uber, we'll win the 9v7. That's all we need. Just don't, overextend with it. They didn't, and they come into Vigil, their own map, with a map advantage.
We have correct score guesses on the stream. Erie P repping his boys. He had confidence the entire time. Shout out to Erie on that prediction. But yeah, 4-3 for MCM. That is not what I should say anyone but those 7 people on screen expected out of this. And even though Blank had 25 kills, he went 25-9, had an 18-19 kill streak. MCM or Wishmo just not able to find the crucial fight wins. MCM were able to just spread out, get all the kills they needed to, kept advantage. They played phenomenally across the board. Sand 23-12 on heavy. That is not, the usual heavy stat line you see, but he did tons of work, tons of cleanup, tons of flanks as well. So just an amazing game all around. You can't forget Etney's big 4K bomb in the backline of ramp that set them up on that winning mode either.
So many big plays coming out there, but one of the main things I want to focus on is just MCM were not making mistakes. When they were dying because their push failed and they got wiped as a team. There were so few instances of bleeding. Exile was not getting sniped off of Bats every time they went for a push, which is what we saw last week. So many of the problems we saw from them last week against Somebody Help were fixed this week. Just or just like some weird potential defenses where they might have given up too much ground or gave up too many kills to a spy. AGB really popped off in those first 2 rounds. Was not enjoying himself. I can guarantee you in the last 5.
Yeah, and the medic deaths equalized by the end as well, both on 8. That if the first 2 rounds were like Nirvana for one of the 2 medics at a time, the last round was just a war zone for both. They were getting sniped off mids, bombed off cooldown. There was not much either med can do there. And in that chaotic half, we saw first half, dominant for Wish Mode, second half dominant for MCM. That third half was just a bloodbath, and in the chaos, MCM came out ahead.
Yeah, and something I've been checking the logs just on my own in between rounds because I've been uploading. After that first round, both meds, I think Casper had 1580 heals per minute. Blake had 1530. I don't think I've ever seen a game where even for a round, both meds combined over 3000. But then, dropped as they both kept dying. Still 1375 for Casper, 1400 for Blake, which is phenomenal numbers. You'll see some meds in lower divs play an entire season without pulling a log that high, and they did that in the quote unquote
2 rounds apiece
round, or the bloodiest half where they had 8 deaths over 3 rounds. Ooh.
Yeah, and that was just a bombshell of a result to have in this first map of our upper bracket finals. That changes everything. Coming into the day, when we're talking about this on the analyst desk, and by that I mean us and Mumble together with Dolphin, we're like, this is probably going to be 2-0 Wish Mode. They've been favored all season. They were incredible. They were pretty dominant in their regular season matchup. It's hard to imagine a world where MCM, ended up winning this thing. But now, all of a sudden, we see MCM come out. They win map 1, and now they're on to Vigil, which is their preferred map. You got to imagine, by the way, with how the pick ban went. What is being thought right now by all the people who did pick ban? Because remember, if you're Joey Lemons there and like the rest of Wish Mode, you picked Ashville knowing that MCM liked that map last week and they did not look up to par. So you do that, MCM show up this week, they've done their homework this time, they're able to get things going, and you just lost your own map pick. Maybe because you were trying to be, a bit cute with it, but either way, their confidence in that one was not as big as MCM's.
Clearly, yeah. And it's funny because you look at it, right? And yeah, AGB didn't have the greatest, back half of that match, but yeah, Nixie, in those middle 2 rounds was getting shut down. Waterson was winning the SVS as he wasn't getting protected. But there's not any one, like, oh yeah, Wish Mode is, they should have won that. It was just X was throwing, right? Like, there's no simple, scapegoat for this loss. MCM just played that well. They didn't make mistakes. They did exactly what they needed to. Their decloaks, their bombs, their pushes were all crisp. And I mean, were they flawless? No, Casper had a couple deaths, here and there. Waterson wasn't always winning SVSs. Exile might have had a death or two that could have done away with, but it wasn't enough. It was one mistake in a time where its impact was limited. It was not constant. Where, like last week, we saw MCM make a ton of mistakes. It's just that somebody helped made more. This time, those were so limited and they played so clean. And if they can keep that up in Vigil, we might be looking at one of the most memorable upsets, I'd say, in RGL Highlander.
Yep, and predictions going. It's things are going MCM. People are riding the wave now. They're up 1.6 to 1.17. So a lot of people have faith in MCM. They're going to have faith in themselves after taking their opponent's map pick and now being on a comfort zone. So we'll have to see how this one shakes out. Keep in mind, a Highlander tradition, by the way, is take your opponent's map pick and go to map 3. So that may be a thing that happens. We'll have to end up seeing. Vigil's one of those maps where it's one of the newer maps in Highlander. That said, we've been playing it for a couple years at this point. There's still a lot of variability that happens in Vigil because of potential unfamiliarity or just not, knowing everything about how you play these maps. And I feel like while Vigil definitely is a map that you could see MCM win against Wish Mode, before we come to the day, in a vacuum, we'd look at that. The same is true for Wish Mode, where this is a map that is very snowbally. One mistake will lead to a 4-minute push time that is pretty much unrecoverable, and there's just a lot that can go wrong on a map like this.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot that can go, because of that the possibility for a faster cap time, right? This is not something like, an Upward where first and second have good enough holds, and then third is almost impossible to snowball into fourth, which is also very difficult to snowball. Maybe you can't snowball last, but one good push on second takes you straight to last. We've had plenty of games, casted games even, where team will cap Vigil in under 5 and then still lose. So it really is just one thing going wrong that can completely flip this. So those exclamation points, right? The pick classes, the soldiers, maybe one poorly timed combo death can be that thing. And I would say that I'd have to give MCM the advantage in that after watching them on Ashville.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against them. They just played so well on map 1, but either way, we're going to be into Vigil now. It's going to be Wish Mode starting out on the offense, MCM on defense. Wish Mode going to be trying to set one of those fast times that we find so oppressive on Vigil over and over again. I do think they're able to do it. We do know that even though this isn't their map pick, Jacob teams and Candy teams of the past have been fairly good at Vigil. It's a map that takes a lot of coordination, takes a lot of proper pushing that Jacob teams are known for. So they're going to need a good start here. If they get started and they don't do very well, you got to imagine the confidence might be shaken for Wish Mode.
I'd be interested in their comms because there could be a chance of that happening. There are a couple players on there that don't have the most iron mentals, but you have to think about players like Carson and, Jacob and Adam who have been here for so long that I can't imagine they could shake him too easily. So it would definitely be
it would take something here to shake them potentially, but it's possible. As the gates do end up dropping, now we're going to see usual time 3 on cart as flank players looking to clear out defensive left side, nothing too crazy. Edney on the black box and battalion, so he's going to be playing for that banner.
Yep, Sam going to back up from the forward position on the rocks. The Evil gets caught out as tunnel hold for the entirety of the MCM combo here, not even risking being on hill. Don't think I've seen that. Spamfest even with an exit telly back onto hill just to make sure there's no potential for any funny business. Interesting play there.
I like it. You know that you're a good team on this map. You know that you can do well with just the standard. Don't do anything that would have you give up second, which is a much stronger point than first. So with that, first gets capped up in 40 seconds. That's like 5 seconds faster than average just because of lack of contention. But now here comes the round. This is where things really get started. Right now we see Wish Mode buffing up all their players in tunnel. Whether or not they exchange out of main tunnel or go hill, we'll have to see. Looks like after buffing up their players, they want to go hill.
Waterson deep inside tunnel, going to lead off onto Carson. Adam next, but Exile and Poseidon go down. Those are two major classes, but the frags are still in favor. It's going to be forced out from Casper.
This is a new strat. We haven't seen this happen too much. They pretended like they were full pushing and had people bomb in to get the force. Blake was never there at all. Blake buffed people and left to spawn. They were never, ever planning on trading Uber there. That was just a play to get the Uber out and get yourself an advantage, and I like it.
Yeah, I suppose I guess having Blake that far back is interesting, but I mean, if they're just running a normal sack wave, I don't think it's that.
But you don't really see it on Vigil's second, because on Vigil's second teams trade. They always trade Uber. Because it's best to just make sure you guarantee that force.
But look how much hill presence they have.
Yeah, they have to, because the defense
just
doesn't have
hill,
Uber.
yeah. Because of that, Nixie's going to go down, but it's not enough. The Uber comes in right here. Casper actually has in time, but so much of his team is dead, it's not going to matter. They're going to be forced to keep this up, and call it the new sack wave or something, but it's going to work out, and Narja, you're going to cap second in no time at all.
Yep, and Casper will end up making it out, but only Spamfest to build on. They're not going to have too much ground to set up. They can at least try to get these engineer buildings, but there's a soldier going forward, going to be landing on the pack. If he can stop this setup early, that'd be very good, and he will take down the Spamfest gun.
I'm pretty sure Andy killed out Blake there as well, so the ad is going to be in Casper's favor. Stayed back and managed to find that med pick, so going to be very important for them to stabilize there, just to make sure they have this ad, where, as much as Wish Mode loves dry pushing, it's a lot easier to do on a cough map than on a payload map.
Yeah, but now we're going to see players from Wish Mode get buffed up and move into this flank area. They are going wide, trying to get their sniper some angles. AGB unfortunately can't quite get behind enemy lines, as now here comes the combo walking out. They're going to have to pressure this. The heavy gun end up dropping off that rock of sand. Going to call the full push. Nixie gets lit on fire. Good detonator there to stall the push. We're going to have to see how MCM respond to this, because they don't have Uber quite yet. They will end up getting, but any force here would be really bad for their chances on defense.
Nixie getting a couple angles in from flank, but the dot on the wall there means that Waterson's watching it just as intently right here. And it looks like the Uber's going to come in through brackets, popped out onto Joey Lemon. Still no Uber from Casper. Finally they use. Blake is getting knocked in. TK has launched it into the corner. Blake, is not long for the world. Will go down. Blake and Carson dead as well. Great air blast from TK, but Jacob with the high bomb finds Casper. AGP takes Waterson out as well. TK and the homewreck are going to protect the gun. Spamfest still alive, but, just faster to knock it off there. AGP going in for round 2, though. See if they can get anything, as gonna declare down to Exile.
Tries his best.
Him to blow himself up on him. So that kill into Casper is going to be really big.
And that was an example of great spy soldier coordination. Demento's used to that in spades. They get the sap on the gun so Demento can go over the top and get that kill. Now Wishmode are sacking for the card. They're just trying to get it in off Uber, and they are going to get this one up that hill and capped up. Gun can't stop it. So now, with both meds off of Uber, we're going to see at Wishmode take capture of this third point and look to push forward. They have 20% advantage to work with as well. 4 minutes through 3. It's fast. It's not, trailblazing, but this is definitely very favorable for Wishmode.
Super deep going into flank is Jacob right here, already walking up the stairs, and no one's even there to meet him. He's aware of that, just wants to scope it out so that they can give Nixie some room to shoot out in Big Door. Waterson watching for him, though. Yeah. Sam's gonna get caught out. Yeah, Jacob in super deep on flank right there. They are gonna find Adam, though, with stickies, but Jacob looking to get some rockets in onto the combo. Hits Poseidon up low. He's in way deeper than he should be right there, but Joey Lemon's gonna use in through flank. Yeah, TK doing his best to reflect it.
Oh, the gun
knocks some rockets back. And the gun hit very low. Spamfest gonna keep it alive, actually. Great wrangling right there from her, able to keep it alive, and that's gonna do so much, to force back the push here. Jacob going in for a huge bomb here. Soaring and gonna take out Waterson, trades for it. Worthwhile exchanges. Casper was forced out there, so not exactly leapfrog, but definitely ad for Blake as he used so much earlier. Defense is good for now, but I gotta watch out for that Uber now that there's such a big ad for Blake.
Spamfest gun just went down in post. It did its job very well. Now we'll get rebuilt on top of the crates. Pretty standard spot moving forward, as now players looking to fight forward in flank. They do get AGB with a fadeaway sticky bomb picking out that spy. As now 95% for the offense, only 50 for defense. Ball is in Wishmode's court here. They're going to look to go up flank and try to pop over this wall again, but Carson dying early.
Sand pushed up when he knew that the Uber was coming through, gonna hide in the corner, gets found out though.
He's alive!
Live and eat, yeah! You gotta find that kill, and Waterson takes out Blake in the post right as that Uber fades. So, that 30% ad they got not gonna be used for anything. Casper not forced to use as well. So, strong defensive play coming from MCM here. The first, 3 points weren't anything noteworthy, but if they can get, 3 minutes on Laster, put up a 7-minute time,
it's winnable.
That's definitely winnable, and I mean, you can't really ask for much more against Wish, but you hope for more, right? And they're going to go for as long as they can, but something in the time I think would put them in a great position.
Nixie peeking this angle, trying to find a demo man, will hit a headshot, do take down the overheal, as now offense going to have their combo go in flank once again, trying to push this heavy off the angle, but he's too big of a force. A lot of damage coming through as Sapper will help get that gun taken down by Nixie, so no sentry gun, no Adam, and no Etney though. Both
whose horn is that?
I think that was Etney, but he got stabbed while popping it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
That battalions could have been really big here, just allow them to play wide and not interfere the sniper. But, you know, Casper still does have Uber. Blake only an 85, so it's not that big of a loss. Jacob and Blake trying to make some room in flank, but Sand playing there, going to be difficult to dislodge. Nixie staring as well, looking to maybe hit someone jump peeking.
The combo's outside of window again. They're looking like they want to do a similar push. They have sniper peeking, hits a headshot onto Sand, and now Sand is eat. In the meantime, the Uber going to come through with that heavy distracted. They're going to get the Sapper on the gun and taking out Sand as well. Can't get saved with a flash. Hyphen will die though. Better Uber for the side of MCM means they can take some ground here. Post is important though, as both teams are down once. 8v8 is Etney. He's going to get Adam, and he almost lives. Nixie will end up dying, as will Etney in the post Uber. So now both teams missing a couple players, but the defense is holding strong. Spamfest onto these minis. AGB on the medic, gonna get found out immediately, and now the defense continues to do their job.
Yeah, and just really, really solid defense. No one, feels like no one on MCM has died outside of like Etney on a push in quite some time. None of the combo members, that's for certain. Sand had that, you know, magic escape from the Uber before.
Oh, they're losing players.
Robertson and Evil go down as the dry flank pressure comes through. They're going to trade it onto Jacob and Adam, but Sand, Joey Lemon's also all going to go down. Tons of deaths here, and there is maybe the biggest onto Spamfest. That gun not
they lose
get
Exile
though. It's still alive.
It just
Exile
goes
goes down.
Etney can almost
Casper's
get
on
there.
90 though. The Uber comes in. If he can get this, and they can stall the car, it's going to be huge. Casper dies at 99. Is holding M2, not going to be enough. Holds it for another second. It might have gone through, but 8 minutes on the clock for MCM. That is more than a satisfactory time for them.
Yeah, despite, you know, a shaky first 3 points, MCM, they pull things together on last, get a pretty good time out of it. It's still winnable for both teams. It's not outside of the realm of possibility for anyone, especially we know how good Wish Mode can be when they turn things up. And at the end there, that was so close to not being a capture, but Wish Mode, we saw their perfect timing and aggression that we're used to this team having. Just bought them those 2 kills on flank, it bought them an entryway, and it bought them the kill onto the medic with 99%. So making use of every second there to get that capture. It's not exactly what they wanted, but again, it is fine. It is winnable for them on this defense.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that can come from potentially no second and third, right? We saw them, it took them, what, 4 minutes to push last, which is as much as the first 3 points combined. Yeah. So, you know, MCM know what they have to do here. And it's, you know, get second and third in reasonable order, and then just have better luck pushing last. I say luck, but, you know.
Yeah, better execution,
results,
better everything.
Last, yeah.
And now, this is the more standard defense that we're used to seeing, with the sentry gun on the box, denies any potential bombers, makes it difficult for Spy to get out with anything scot-free, so we will be seeing that come through, and that means the hill back out for the majority of the combo is ready. Note, we do see Adam playing in the tunnel. This is crucial, because if the soldier jumps in tunnel, he has a flank angle, so his job is to stop anyone who's trying to run into that tunnel.
Yeah, not, you know, going with that full combo in tunnel here, but yeah, there's been a couple of disastrous rounds for someone getting behind in through tunnel, be it a soldier, you know, a spy, or even like a heavy or a pyro, just ganking people. Exile's going to go in for just a more forward jump here.
Oh, that's a good play. They timed a double explosive pass bomb with the sap, hoping to get something. They got the gun, unfortunately couldn't quite find anything else. Eddie had the Beggar's Bazooka for that, by the way, so he was just looking to land on someone and explode them, but unfortunately did not get a pick. Got the gun, though. That's pretty much what they wanted.
Yeah, as, you know, nothing too exciting. Ultimately, the gun's going to be rebuilt. Stand in tunnel, get some damage onto Blank, but nothing too meaningful, really.
He was going for early sap here. He's going to get the sap on the gun.
Up by Stickies, and they got Adam as well. Really big kill there to take out the defensive heavy. They don't lose anyone.
They're trying a similar thing.
Really.
Their medic's not close. Now Casper going to walk up to the first point. They try to get the force, but they were not successful getting the force. Evil comes in a bit late, going to get cleaned up by Carson. So now they're likely going to trade Uber evenly. You want to cycle these Ubers if you're not able to get the force. So the majority of MCM grouping up outside the hill. SVS being taken as Uber going to come through over the top. Pyro doing a good job reflecting this one. Carson going to be pushing them back. Scout on the hill, going to try and take down this gun. Grangled at 1 HP for Hyphen as Banner popped for this defense here. They're going to walk forward. They're going to get Sand and Etney, and they're going to try to get more pressure on this hill. Remember, they're headshot immune, so Nixie going to take down Larson with a free SVS, and that's a good defense here by Wish Mode.
Kind of demoralizing when that happens. You know, you're not on the same playing field. It's not just an aim fight.
It's like the vaccinator pocketing in a pub.
I hate that weapon, man. But yeah, so MCM now has not shown nearly as much success. This point was basically already capped for Wish Mode, but Adam's going to get taken out again. So Evil doing a great job finding picks on a point that's normally very difficult. Joey Lemons, Blake, and Jacob all go down in short order. So even Exile not being up may not matter. Sniper's going to go down as well, which favors the offense here. No cart time yet, but the gun finally goes down. Sand takes it out, and that will call the back out. Just too many people going down.
Yeah, Evil trying to chase the engineer out. Unfortunately for them, Hyphen will get out to spawn, but very solid push there by MCM to get all the picks, get forward, get the gun, and get the capture. So that one took, what, about 2:15 off the clock. That's very acceptable considering they, didn't get the force like Wish Mode did. So now they're on pretty decent pace to continue through this map. So both meds going to be on Uber up to see what they want to do. Looks like they're immediately going to go into the flank side.
Yeah, no downside in playing fast here. Blank's going to be the first one going down. Nixie next, so no sniper. They could potentially take this as a slow play. No Ubers yet either. And that's a hat trick for Waterson already. Adam hit up low. The Uber walks right by him. He's a free kill, and they don't even realize this could be disastrous. Casper sees him and calls him out.
Yeah, he got flashed.
But he gets flashed here, and he's going to shred Poseidon on card. Blake gets taken out through the overextension, and Wishmode's combo is collapsing right here. He played on that hidden heavy. Crouching Puda's hidden dragon does not work out, and MCM has all the momentum going into last plank. Will take out Waterson to clear up the sight lines, but
all right, now, while this may look over because they're spawn camping them, keep in mind the cart has a very long walk up, so Wishmode will have a chance to get back into this. Okay, you know he's gonna do that, right? You can't let the spawn camp kill 3 and put them on extended respawn timers. Now Sand gonna try and get some kills. He's actually rotating through the new spawn angle, so gonna be able to get back to his team. So Wishmode, they need to put together an actual push out of spawn. They can't die to anything, and with AGB finding a pick onto Waterson, they have something to work with.
Waterson got back in here, things to be very desperate. Evil's gonna get caught out as well. So spawn camp is over right as the cart's getting to about where it would normally. So you could argue how effective that actually was, but
it never wins the round because the cart has such a long walk up.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a quick push into flank though. I like this lack of hesitation from MCM. They are in so deep right here. Blake just got right there. They got a little bit more pressure on him here. They could have gotten another one of those 99% kills.
They're going to be able to kill this medic if they can get any people forward, but Pyro going to get denied. They're trapped in this side angle. AGB, he wants the med pick, but Casper gets out just in time. MCM lucky to get out of there with all their players alive.
Yeah, as Nixie's going to get taken out though, so no sniper. Yeah, the gun's dead as well. Sand on this cart, they're moving it up the hill right now. AGB going around from flank, might come out and find something big. Gonna find Sand, goes down though, and cart goes up the hill right there. That is big. As Hyphen just
the mini's doing so much work with Hyphen
right there. Yeah, that mini's doing a ton right there. Gonna get arrowed on it. So the cart just barely up the ramp. Someone's gonna MCM really does not want them to go back down, but Spamfus is a whole one-up in main.
Yeah, Hyphen with a Texan last stand there to get 3 kills on the cart, helps stall that push out, and even though there's this level of the Spamfest cart is 3 seconds away from moving back down the hill, it looks like they want their spy to tap it, and they will get the tap, so that's a very good death for Evil to make sure that cart stays up there. Unfortunately, Waterson gonna lose the SBS, and the bomb in through main from Demento is gonna get the force, so that is not good for MCM. They're gonna go forward, they're gonna try to get onto this. Remember, they have a pyro, if they air blast off the cart, they can win! They need to get the pop on the cart, and they will. 1 second, they're getting the pyro, they just get the kill in time, not able to get the capture, but they do force that Uber with the threat of ending the round. Recontest though,
it's not gonna matter though. Too many people get knocked off of it, and they're just gonna walk right in and take it.
Yeah, that was a really interesting sequence of events where Demento, he had, in theory, a really good force onto the med deep in their main. So you got to think now what Wish Mode have to do is they, just pop Uber late, make sure you don't let the cart get too far up, and then play post with the better Uber. But they let the cart literally get an inch away. They didn't have anyone close at all to take their Uber. It's almost like, it feels like they didn't react to Demento's force at all, because when Demento force is there, you got to imagine when the cart's up the hill, they're sacking for it. They're going to go in and see what they can get. So just a late reaction from Wish Mode cost them.
Yeah, on top of that, complete lack of hesitation from MCM.
Yeah.
Casper got forced, and the second he forced, Exile already had stickies, and he hit a crazy jump in through main that I think he actually surfed off the tracks a little bit to fly in there. Regardless though, that Uber got forced, and normally when he got forced on the medium pack,
yeah, really far back in main, around the second bend.
And ultimately 2 seconds of that Uber got wasted.
Yeah,
Teams have
decisive.
wasted more seconds on Uber when they meant to pop than MCM did on that force.
You're right about that one. We've seen that a lot in Highlander, but yeah, lack of hesitation at all from MCM completely trumps all the hesitation from Wish Mode they showed to get on the cart. So the decisive team ended up winning, even though things started out in favor for Wish Mode. And you got to think, like, what is that here? Is that like a lack of awareness by Wish Mode? Are they maybe a bit out of it? Are comms not being smooth right now? Is there something going on? But either way, they just got out decision made, and MCM with that decisiveness takes the first round of Vigil. They are now one round away from being grand finalists.
Yeah, and I mean, I think part of it is that I feel like there's so much, I don't know, fear around the players on Wish Mode that you stop looking at them as like individual players that can make mistakes. But strictly from like a caliber, like the caliber of player perspective, I don't think you can really say there's too many mismatches really from MCM, right? It's more like almost a recency bias in terms of performance, where because Wish Mode and Hood Naruto have been so good, you just naturally give them the default. But like, Jacob's not on Spy anymore, Carson's not on Heavy anymore. Nixie Sniper is not.
It's not Boar level. Well,
I'm trying to think of anything more elegant than shitting in their cereal level, but he's not shitting in anyone's cereal right now. He's not, having like an awful game by any means, but he's not a star. AGB is not getting away with crimes like you see him sometimes. There's no one on Wish Mode right now that really feels like they have star power. On the flip side,
and to be fair, like
Etney, I feel like might have star power right now. He's honestly done completely everything I could have hoped for him to do in this match and more.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to say that there's no star power on MCM or on Wish Mode, because that's just not true. Joey Lemons is fantastic demo man. He's probably in a vacuum the best demo man in the league, right? Adam is very solid on Heavy. Hyphen's fine engineer. AGB and Nixie, even though they're not, the oppressive pick classes of K&D rosters pasts, the Demento Spies, the Lenny Snipers. They're still fine players. They're just getting out executioned right now in like everything that isn't purely like player caliber stuff, where they're getting out decision made, they're getting outpaced. Even when they make a good play, it seems like they just can't capitalize on it enough to get a good time. Keep in mind, they were 4 minutes through 3 points on their offense. Their last just took so long to make work. That's a struggle that we see so many teams have on Vigil, and they're not able to overcome it, lose the round, and now they're 1 round away from going lower bracket, which is something this team probably never expected to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, in a way you love to see it, right? Joey's going to take out XL right off the bat. XL's another player I want to give massive credit to, because he's a player that, when he's on, he's always got such a high potential, right? But there's always so many asterisks on him. Oh, he dies too much, he couldn't, there's always, like, problems, it feels like, with him, but none of them have reared up today. I feel like this might be one of the best games we've seen Exile play in a long time.
Yep, and now MCM are going to look to do it on offense here, going out, trying to get some spam on the gun. We'll get wrangled back, so nothing going on too much. We saw a couple trades on the flank side, but every player will be up and ready. Keep in mind, last round, MCM, they also went for the aggressive sack players in, try to get the force. Didn't work out for them that time. We'll have to see what they decide to do this time. AGB is calling all of where their combo moves to, what they're going to go for. Oh, they're getting kills.
Big bomb out of Etney there. That star power shining through yet again. As he finds kills. Yeah, he finds 2 kills, and I doubt that's going to be enough to push off of it. They're still on 10-second respawn timers. That is a long wave.
Yeah, and not only did he get the engineer, he got the gun too, so there's going to be no sentry gun at all. Now Spy, Evil, decloaking, looking for it. No, he gets Carson, and the Uber trade comes off. It's a solo onto the demo man, though, full Wish Mode.
Blake.
Exactly, it's a solo, and they're trying to get out. Adam going to get a flash try to clean up. He will kill Exile, but loses his life. Or Cart is almost captured. We contest from tracks from Wish Mode, but they're getting contested in the back, and they're not able to get on this cart at all. They're going to lose that one in 1:20.
That's an insanely fast time per second. MCM is playing with charisma right now.
Exactly. You would think that they're the team that went 7-0, dropping a single round this season, by the way things are playing.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to have too much momentum coming into third here. Blake, did manage to escape. They're on even Ubers right here, so it's 9v9, but there's so much pressure already on towards flank. MCM is playing out of their minds right now. They are not missing a single beat.
And Demento going down means there's going to be no banner available. I didn't even see if he was running it, but he hasn't been able to build it up anyway. So now both teams looking to contest in just a second. And Watterson, massive pick from the flank side onto Blake, able to get his team full Uber advantage. Now 90% for Casper. They're going to go forward, but Adam without arrows is going to go down in the forward heavy spot. It's all going south for the side of Wishmode. Demento desperate for a medic pick, but Casper will not expose himself. And the second pick has turned into a third snowball.
224 through third.
That is so exceptional right now. They're going to have a level 3 gun to defend this, and but full Uber ad for MCM means they're going to be raring to go the second the card is anywhere near.
Yeah, again, we saw how long the spawn camp worked, and it didn't automatically give them the last push, but the aggression, MCM is not wasting
Speaking of aggression, they're
time.
Oh no,
But
Casper
drops. That might put a little bit of a damper on it. Hopefully they can maybe go and try to get a force out here, but now Blake back up the spawn. Yeah, they are getting cart time. Jacob, though, going to find 2 on cart. All the kills going over to Wishmode right now. Sand will take out the gun, but that is the only, note in the kill feed that's positive right now for MCM. But they bought themselves time here, right? You don't want to see that drop, but they still can have the potential to get like a sub 5-minute time without too much difficulty.
But not when
Nixie finds Casper again.
Peeks into main and takes down that enemy medic, and with Casper's sticky trap death up top right, defensive right side, it feels like they just Wishmode have downloaded this last defense, at least for now, able to keep Uber ad, keep time on the clock, keep themselves in it. Demento will die, although they will get the kills onto Sand and Evil, just stacking cart right now, trying to get whatever time they can. Bomb out, 1 rocket, not going to be able to find a second is Edney, takes Blake to half, but they will be able to stabilize once again. Watterson, he wants the shot. Right now for MCM, their goal is just to get on cart. Spy gonna come in, not able to find it. Just cart time and try to build this Uber is all MCM need.
Watterson really pulled out the alien movement right there to accidentally not get stabbed for quite some time. Adam's super forward, playing into Red Room as the rest of the MCM combo is going to move into Red Room as well. Exile going for spam, gets the gun. That's a really big pick to start this out. Going to be rebuilt back by Hyphen further
Watterson
back.
Has an angle. If he goes for a shot and hits a key target, things could be the go button. Evil, unfortunately, gets counter-espionage once again, and Watterson finds that SBS win. He's going to wide swing, looks for the med, can't find the shot right away, but now with 100% Uber, it looks like MCM are wanting to go in through right side again.
Blake is pinned on the box right here by Watterson sitting in big door. The Uber will get traded out from both teams. They're going to take it right to cart as Casper is forced to just use it to stay in flank. They are going to find Adam in flank, though. So kills in favor of MCM right there. Another pick by Watterson onto Carson, and Jacob gonna get picked out as well.
Headshot is big. Nixie gonna take on Exile with 2 headshots, and now Joey Lem's uncontested on Spam. 7k for him. Spam onto the carpet. A level 3 gun out for Spamfest here. It's zoning them off. No, gonna die. Wrangled into spawn, and that is the capture. Sub 5 minutes, with only barely a 4:59 time for MCM, putting themselves in prime position to close this map out.
It might happen, Zach.
It might happen. The 2-0 for MCM over Wishmode. This is not what almost anyone would have expected.
This is not the 2-0 I was expecting.
Exactly. 60 seconds. And you have to imagine, right, with how the offense went for Wishmode, where, yes, they had a very good first through third. They got the force on second that let them kind of snowball in. They played very well on third, zoning people out and getting the kills. But they didn't have an answer to the last push. They didn't really have a surefire way to get in there. Their Ubers were failing time after time. We need to see a new side of Wishmode here if they want to actually take this map and extend us in this upper bracket finals.
Mission begins in 30
Yeah, and again, it doesn't... When I said before, it doesn't feel like anyone has star power, I mean right now.
Yeah, right now.
It doesn't feel like anyone on this team has, like, the mojo you normally see. Like, when we started on Ashville, Jacob was doing whatever he wanted. He was, like, dialing up, the Casper kill service, and just like, hey, I'm coming in. And they're like, yeah, sure, skies are clear. Landing on Casper's head, taking him out. It doesn't feel like anyone has that. And I don't know if it's a mental thing. It might just be how well MCM is playing, because, again, they are so on it right now. Like, there's such a lack of hesitation. It feels like it's like one person controlling all of MCM. You know what I mean? Like there's a mind meld going on.
One mind, yes. Classic. And now Demento, he goes for early bomb, not going to quite find anything, as, I can respect the try. They're going to get the Rescue Ranger for the gun all the way out of there. AGB surfed super high in the skybox. He actually keeps his life in the backline, which is big. But yeah, either way, first going to be capped up here. Every second is crucial here. Time is bleeding, so they're going to get this one capped up. It's looking to be about, 40, 45 seconds once again. So We'll have to see what they want to do. They do catch Evil out. That's very good. No spy calling their rotation. So we'll have to see if they do this aggressive, sack-esque wave, try to get this Uber Force.
Yeah, just gonna have to do something right now. They do not have the time to wait around. AGB sitting in the back, but forced out to third just to get health and ammo from the spy check.
Oh, they're just trading.
They're gonna use in right away. Again, no time to waste.
Oh, they
will find Exile. That is big. The gun goes down as well. 5 minutes is fast, but it is definitely doable. But Joey Lemons is going to go down. All the kills, though, in favor of Wishmode right now. Blank up on this roof, doing a ton of damage right here. And in comes Jacob.
Banner's
They're going
out,
to maybe
but
go
for 3
behind.
people. Yeah, they get the banner, but they can't quite get any players alive. Casper will make it out with the help of Etney and his banner, so MCM able to keep their Uber. But that said, super fast snowball there from Wishmode. We saw there they took the normal trade pattern where you just trade Uber and recontest on the hill, and it worked out very well. That time through 2 was about the same as MCM's, if not slightly faster. So now they're in position. They can do this. They can push sub 5 minutes. We mentioned the pregame. We see it happen all the time. 5 minutes is not a guaranteed win on Vigil, so they have a bit more work to do, but they're on track.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have slight ad here. I don't know if Blake knows it or not, as it likely would have come as a result of building. It just, like whatever you get when you pop a few seconds before the enemy medic. But I doubt it's going to be pushable unless they really, really hit the gas pedal here. Cart's not even at the bend, though, so I doubt it. So we'll likely see. But no, Uber comes out. Casper only at 97. Not enough pressure on him, though. He will use back in, yeah. And in they go. Poseidon's going to chase people out right there. Carson, Jacob, Hyphen, all going down. As does Nixie. Blake, though, the big one, will stay alive. As just, there's such little time here. There's such little time. You can't mess up more than one push here.
Yeah, you called it that Uber looked like it was a bit off timing, it was a bit too fast. They had people too far around the corner, and they weren't able to actually get any pressure forward into their opponent's corners of cover. So with that, they're not able to get any kills at all. AGB finally will get one onto Etney there. Denying the banner is definitely very important, but Wishmode need more, and they're going to put people on the right side, but Joey Lemons eats a pipe from Exile over the crest of that hill. Gun going to get taken down, as will Rogerson, though. Exile as well, dying to this minigun shred, so there is room, and they're getting a lot of kills now. MCM is falling person by person on this corner, and just like that, they're going to lose third. Casper's alive, but they have no positioning anymore.
This is not over. Do not think this is over, chat. That is an order. And Wishmode is still fully in this. They do not have Uber ad, but they have the speed, and it looks like they're finally playing with some of that mojo that's been missing for the past hour or so. As trades are going to be gone back and forth in favor of MCM right now. The Uber comes out right here. Casper has as well, will use as well. No one dropped yet, despite all the chaos going on. It's great from the Mets here, but Waterson finds Blake on the back out. Carson and Joey Lemons go down. So the spawn camp does not end well for Wishmode, but a minute and a half is enough time to get another Uber and go for a push here.
You have to give massive props to Casper there, especially of the two medics. He knew that his team was stuck in a corner. If they took too much damage, they could get cleaned up. He flashed every single player. He caught all of them, and they kept everyone alive there, able to take space and get back. That said, Waterson now dropping. He tried to take an off angle, but he was alone and got stabbed. So now they're down to Sniper. There is some room for Nixie to try to make some magic. He has the window sightline, going to be looking for any shot he can make. They're very scared, and they're playing the opposite side of him, so nothing showing itself right now, but both meds going to be close soon.
Adam trying to get into flank here, but Jacob and AGB going to be the only ones going down for it. 50 seconds left as Nixie goes down. Look at this dry aggro. Blake is out in the open with only 75%.
Waterson scoping.
Not going to go down.
He found him. Waterson found Joey right before Blake is about to get Uber, so they need to regroup now. They can't push without a demo man at all, so they're going to lose Blank. They're going to lose Carson. They get Etney in return. No banner, but now they have to wait for this. It's 28 seconds left. This is one last shot for Wishmode.
Yeah, they have Uber. They need to go in, wipe, and cap card instantly. AGB already dead. Makes this a lot harder as the Uber comes in. Casper milking here. Gonna use in. Flashes on everyone. Joey goes down mid-Uber. It's route mode, but Poseidon and Sand go down. Not enough, though. Only 3 players up. It's just the 7, 8, 9 for MC or Wishmode. It's not enough. MCM are gonna come out, upset Wishmode 2-0. Map score and match score. They're going to grand finals as the higher seed.
What a match tonight. This is not what anyone expected. A 2-0 from MCM, showing that they are a team that is deserving of grand finals, is deserving of a shot at the Highlander Championship. and that was just phenomenal play. You'd be hard tasked to find any moments of major lapse, any moments of, oh, this player messed up, any genuinely bad decision making out of MCM. That's one of the cleanest matches of Highlander I've ever seen this core play, at least without, you know, their old core with Zuki main calling them.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it cannot be understated how smooth that was. Like, this is a VOD that I'm going to be showing people as a team that knows what they're doing. Their offenses were so clean. It was crisp. You can tell just by watching it, you know, from our perspective, when a team is moving as one, there's no lag, there's no people getting caught out. They're not wasting 30 seconds in between pushes thinking about what they should do. It really is just that clean. But, you know, we could talk about this all night, right? But we have the Cozy Brothers versus Five Nights at Mal's coming up next. So I think we're going to take a quick look at the logs here, and then we're going to throw it over to Jared and SGC.
Yeah, this match deserves a little bit more talking. You see logs on the screen. Joey Lemons did well to, you know, contest Exile damage, beating him out, but we see Watterson 24 kills, doing tons of work. Etney 23. You pointed out Etney at the start of the night. We need to see this, you know, traditionally conservative and safe Highlander soldier, the rock behind your team, turn into a playmaking monster, and we saw that out of Etney in spades tonight. So cannot be understated how important he was in the success of MCM.
Yeah, and, you know, props to him there, because I wasn't sure if he'd be able to do. I mean, not that I'm doubting his capability on Soldier, but again, it is a different bit of a playstyle, and he really showed up and was consistently near the top of the frags for his team. So great adaptation there. And for Wish Mode, right? Like, it just feels like they're not playing with that same spark we've seen them play with earlier in the season.
Yeah, the 7-0 one-round drop team was not here tonight, is what we can say. Whether or not it's, you know, a side effect of missing their main scout, the namesake for the team, hurting them just being off on the night, or MCM just showing up in the strongest form we've seen them, that was just a phenomenal match for MCM, you know, putting themselves in prime spot to be the champions. And yeah, just amazing play with them. We will be seeing Wish Mode in the lower bracket finals. Not sure if they'll be facing Somebody Help or Yi quite yet. You can look on the RGLgg website for that. But for now, we do have to go. So look forward next week. We'll be casting the Wish Mode match lower bracket final, see who has the honor of challenging MCM for the title. In the meantime, I am Zagron, Alto by my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Thank you, and stick around. We'll be getting into sixes after this short break. So thank you.